Have you ever wondered why some men, without riches, fame, or social status, still draw women in like gravity itself? Why a quiet man with nothing to prove can stir more longing than a millionaire flashing his worth? The truth is ancient, buried in the silence between words, passed down from men like Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor who found power not in gold, but in discipline, stillness, and presence. And here's the truth no one dares to speak. Women crave these stoic qualities far more than money, though they may never say it aloud. They want the man who feels like calm in a loud world, the one who listens with depth, leads with discipline, and walks away without fear. If you're tired of pretending, chasing, or being ignored despite giving your all, this story will change how you understand love, attraction, and masculinity. Like, subscribe, and listen to the very end. Everything is about to shift. There was a man long forgotten by history. No marble statues, no scrolls written in his name. He wasn't a senator, nor was he royalty. His name was Cassius, a soldier, a man among many, living in the heart of the Roman Empire. And yet, in the whispers of women, his name lived on, not because of what he had, but because of what he was. He walked with calm, he spoke with meaning, he never chased applause, or lovers, or riches. He chased one thing, excellence. One day, a younger soldier leaned over to him and asked, "Cassius, how do you do it? You have no gold, no titles, and yet they look at you like you're the king." Cassius smiled, slow and steady. "It's not what I own," he said. "It's who I am when I own nothing." That was the moment it all made sense. And that is where this begins. Not with wealth, not with seduction, but with presence. Because you can buy attraction, but you cannot buy connection. You can rent attention, but you cannot earn respect with your wallet. Every generation has a few men like Cassius, men who are rooted, calm, unshaken, men who do not chase women because they are too busy building themselves. Women notice, they always do, but not in the way men think. They don't fall for the loudest voice in the room, they fall for the stillness in a storm. Marcus Aurelius wrote in his private journals, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." And Cassius lived it. When betrayed by a woman he once loved, he didn't shout, he didn't beg. He sat by the fire in silence, letting the pain sharpen him instead of destroy him. She came back, not because he chased her, but because his stillness exposed her chaos. In a world of men acting like boys, jealous, loud, anxious, a man who stands still becomes a magnet, because that stillness, that self-control is rare, and rarity, that is power. Most men think money will make them desirable. But what women crave is a man with purpose, a man who wakes up before dawn, not to impress anyone, but to sharpen his mind, his body, his soul. Cassius wasn't chasing women, he was chasing virtue. He trained with discipline, ate with simplicity, and spoke with honesty. He once turned away a woman of status who mocked a servant. Others laughed, but she didn't. She looked at him with a quiet fire, because boundaries create desire, and a man who cannot say no becomes invisible. The truth is simple. When you have values, you don't need validation. When you know who you are, rejection is not an injury. Cassius once walked into a gathering dressed in the garments of a commoner. Another man mocked him. "Where is your gold, your silk?" He answered, "What I wear fades, who I am does not." The woman beside the mocker walked away and followed Cassius into the night. Stillness is seductive. Confidence without ego is rare. Most men speak to be seen, but Cassius, he listened to understand. He asked questions like, "What keeps you up at night?" instead of, "What do you do for a living?" and they answered him. Because women aren't searching for facts, they're searching for presence, for someone who can hold the weight of emotion without crumbling. Cassius held space, not just hands. He didn't try to fix a woman's feelings. He made room for them, and in doing so he became unforgettable. Discipline was his religion. He did what he said he would do. He didn't make excuses. He didn't blame. When the other soldiers slept, he trained. When others gossiped, he read. When others boasted, he reflected. Women noticed, not with praise, but with silence, with glances, with the way they leaned closer without meaning to. Because in a world that is soft, the disciplined man becomes legend. Cassius loved, but he never clung. He gave freely, but never begged to stay. He once loved a woman who left him for a richer man. He wrote her a letter, not to ask her back, but to bless her journey. A week later, she returned. Not because he begged, but because his detachment was not cold. It was powerful. Women can feel it. When a man doesn't need them, but still chooses them, that kind of love feels safe. It feels pure. It feels like peace. And in the end, every woman wants one thing: to feel safe in a man's presence. Not just physically, but emotionally. The kind of safety where she can exhale, where she doesn't have to perform, where she can be soft because you are strong. That's what Cassius gave, not performance, not promises, presence. He was peace in a world that screamed, and that, more than money, more than charm, more than beauty, that is what women crave but never say. The man who doesn't need to be adored to feel whole. The man who knows silence is more powerful than noise. The man who walks away not to punish, but because he values himself more than proving a point. Cassius is not just a name. He is a reminder that in the end, what women remember is not the gifts they were given, but the man who gave them nothing but his strength, his attention, and his honesty. He didn't wear gold. He wore truth. He didn't speak often, but when he did, hearts listened, and he didn't chase love, he became it, because Stoic masculinity is not cold, it's calm, it's not distant. It's grounded, it's not controlling, it's confident, and that, my brother, is the rarest thing of all. So if you're tired of being ignored, ghosted, or used, stop looking outward, start building within. Train your mind, guard your values, speak less, move with intent. Let your presence echo before your words ever reach her ears. Women feel everything, even what you don't say. Be like Cassius, not perfect, not rich, just rooted, just real, because the world will always chase noise. But the woman worth having will be drawn to your silence. She won't know why, she'll just feel it, and that's enough. So now you know the truth. What women long for isn't bought, it's built. It's not the wealth in your hands, but the strength in your presence. Marcus Aurelius taught it, Cassius lived it, and now it's your turn to embody it. Be the man who leads without shouting, who listens more than he speaks, who walks alone but never lonely. Become the calm in a world of storms. Women may never say it out loud, but they crave your stillness, your values, your depth, not for what you give them, but for who you are when you give nothing but your peace. If this message reached you, leave a like, subscribe to this channel, and share it with the man who needs to hear it. And remember, true attraction isn't about chasing, it's about becoming. Until next time, stay rooted. Stay real, stay stoic.